Matthew Fitzpatrick died in Mannheim, Germany of asphyxia due to ligature strangulation on the 11th of December 2010. The German police have stated that Matthew's death was a result of suicidal hanging. The evidence I have provided and discussed in the series of logs parts 1 to 3 proves beyond a reasonable doubt that Matthew's death was not as a result of suicide. When we take into account the injuries to Matthew's body, what the neighbours heard in the early hours of the morning, the lies and contradictions told by witnesses, the police corruption, and of course the forensic engineer's statement, all three descriptions on how Matthew was alleged to have been found were all impossible, which means he was never hanging. Surely this all warrants a proper and thorough investigation. However, the German authorities are not doing anything about this and are ignoring all factual evidence. In addition, there is more evidence, much more evidence, some of which I cannot share with you yet. However, the following that I can share provides further and significant support to the fact that Matthew was murdered. Text messages Matthew sent from his phone contradicts the statements of 3 witnesses. In addition, these 3 witnesses have each contradicted one another. Why? What have these 3 people got to hide? The German police took no interest in analysing statements from these witnesses, which would have clearly shown that these 3 individuals had something to hide. And indeed, we provided the German authorities with detailed information on the text messages sent and received from Matthew's phone as part of our evidence, which they've completely ignored. A text message sent from Matthew's phone states, "I want my key back." This is a very significant text message. Through analysis of evidence, this was sent at approximately the time Matthew would have arrived home in the early hours of Saturday the 11th of December 2010. Did Matthew arrive back to his apartment and realised he was no longer in possession of his keys, and this is why he sent a text message, as he knew who had taken his keys? Approximately 20 days before Matthew was murdered, he was receiving email messages of a threatening behaviour. We informed the German authorities and provided them with copies of the messages Matthew received as part of our evidence. The German police decided not to interview this person, with the reason that he needed a translator. This man was Irish. Why would the German police take the position of not interviewing a person who was threatening Matthew, who could have been one of the perpetrators involved in his murder? A few weeks before Matthew died, he visited a doctor because he was having trouble sleeping. After Matthew's death, the German police stated that they spoke with this doctor, and the German police also stated that this doctor diagnosed Matthew with post-traumatic stress disorder. I spoke with this doctor after Matthew's death and asked him if he had ever diagnosed Matthew with post-traumatic stress disorder. He said no, he had not. He went further to state that Matthew was having trouble sleeping due to the breakup of his relationship, but was doing fine. This was also documented. It is apparent that the police wanted to invent information to support their original false assumptions that Matthew had taken his own life. We provided the German authorities with the evidence from the doctor. They have simply ignored this. And to the surprise of the doctor, they have never contacted him further to discuss this evidence. In addition, they have never since mentioned or attributed post-traumatic stress disorder with Matthew. It seems that the German police are allowed to invent information freely to prove their false assumptions, and they do this without any basis or intelligence. Matthew's body was found in his apartment at 11 a.m. on the 11th of December 2010. At approximately 2 p.m. in the afternoon, when the apartment was sealed off, Matthew's PC was switched on. The police had confirmed that they did not switch on any of Matthew's PCs or laptop, and in fact, it was stated that they didn't see any PC equipment. On Sunday the 12th of December 2010, Matthew's PC was switched on again, and on Thursday the 16th of December 2010, Matthew's PC was switched on again, this time logged into where numerous websites were visited. On the 6th of January 2011 and the morning of the 7th of January 2011, Matthew's PC was logged into again, This time, numerous folders on Matthew's PC were downloaded to a portable drive. The German police were provided with detailed documentary analysis of the activities on Matthew's PC. They were provided with all PC equipment. However, no analysis was carried out. This was simply ignored. Significant to this is the fact that one of Matthew's personal laptops is still missing, therefore stolen, along with a number of other items. Those items include a professional camera and a baseball bat. The German police took no interest in the theft of these items. Again, further evidence of a crime committed being ignored. False statements on Matthew's financial status were made to the police. The German police used this to support their opinion that Matthew had taken his own life. However, we contracted the services of a financial lawyer who extensively analysed Matthew's financial records and produced a report which clearly demonstrated and declared that Matthew had very good incomings and modest outgoings and had no debts. The details of this report was provided to the German authorities as part of our investigation. However, the German authorities have yet again ignored factual evidence and have since never attributed financial problems with Matthew. The investigation the German police undertook was full of inaccuracies, flaws, lies and cover-up. We have provided factual evidence to the German authorities that proves without any doubt that Matthew did not have financial problems, nor did he suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. We have provided the German authorities with evidence that Matthew was threatened and items were stolen from his apartment. We have provided the German authorities with important and significant communications via Matthew's mobile phone, detailing where he was, who he was with, and of course later on that he was not in possession of his apartment keys. We provided the German authorities with forensic analysis of access on his PC after his death. Adding all of this to significant medical evidence of a brutal attack on Matthew where he sustained 45 injuries, and forensic evidence proving that Matthew was never hanging, how can a so-called professional and competent police force and prosecution state that Matthew's death was a result of suicide when all evidence supports murder? There are so many unanswered questions as to why Matthew's rights are being violated and allowed to be violated. The German authorities will not listen to factual evidence. They are not interested in the world seeing their incompetence and unprofessionalism. Why are they acting in this way? Well, is it because Matthew was Irish? Or is it something more sinister? Unfortunately, Matthew is not the only foreign citizen to be treated in such an appalling manner at the hands of the German authorities. So, I ask you, who have hopefully listened to each part of our evidence, put yourself into mine and my family's position. What would you do? How would you feel? What would you want? Please think about this. We cannot allow the German authorities to act in such a manner against Matthew or anyone else. We need your vocal support, nothing more. The more vocal support we receive, the louder our voice is heard, and the bigger the pressure we put on the authorities to do the right thing. Matthew's case must be investigated properly, professionally, and thoroughly by decent, honest, and trustworthy investigators. Please visit our website www.justiceformatthew.com to see what campaigns are active. But you can also contact us by email at info@justiceformatthew.com. And finally, please share our site and these videos through your social networks, whether it be Facebook, Twitter or Pinterest, or any other you feel that is relevant. This will enable us to make the voice for justice louder, and your support will definitely make a difference to the impact we need. Please support Justice for Matthew Fitzpatrick.